We're back for one of the most interesting races of the year. It might not be the hardest, but it definitely lacks the most oxygen. Welcome to Leadville 100. Not the run, this is the bike.
Always time for Rice Krispie.
Leadville's a pretty special race to me. I think partly because we've built this really special thing around from the ground up and bringing everyday people to this crazy, iconic race. I think partly because it's 2 hours from where I live now, and there's a belief that I can one day win it. And I think also because, unlike most races, this race, no matter how fit you are, demands respect. And I love a good race. I love a good dogfight. I love a race that makes you suffer.
I've only seen flat bars out here, no drop bars around to be seen. Everyone's lying.
There's a massive debate right now, drop bars or flat bars. I'm on the flat bar side. I understand why people are running drop bars. They think in theory that it's a faster setup, it's more dynamic, and you can move through parts of the course that I think are very unimportant quicker. We are in a crazy time of Leadville where it seems like you can't go any faster than we are. And yet we're trying to force the pace. You put drop bars on a mountain bike, it's not meant to do that. It could be a great gravel bike for someone who wants to be comfortable, right? It's gonna be more comfortable on dirt roads. But I think we're at this place where people just want to figure out how to go faster at this iconic race. And so we have people trying to test everything. Certain people are good enough to do it. And at the end of the day, we're gonna see a lot of drop bars in the top 10 because the strongest guys are running drop bars. That being said, it's not the fastest for me. My last two Leadvilles have been drastically different from one another. Starting 2023 was a pretty great race. I honestly didn't feel great, but just ate and drank well, focused on what I could do, and came out in a final sprint with John Gaston and finished second. It felt weird because I was so far behind Keegan, but it also felt like a really well executed race. It moved me up in the Grand Prix and I went on to win Chequamegon in the Rad next and kind of was a pivotal transition point in my season. 2024, I had this dream of continuing to be competitive in the Grand Prix and also going to support my girlfriend at the Olympics. What happened is those two things did not happen. A little bit of bad luck here, a little bit of bad luck there, but I trained really hard. I just trained really hard in Paris at sea level, and Leadville reminded me how hard it can be at altitude. My day out last year was harrowing. It honestly makes me a little fearful of the race right now. I think I finished, I don't know, way down the list. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done on a bike. I want to race for the win, but if history tells us, myself, as well as Matt and Russell and Braden and Cole and everybody, we're not racing Keegan. He's racing the record by himself. And people get all on me when I talk about Keegan all the time, but there's a respect you have to give to what he's done at this race specifically. He's really, really good above 10,000 feet. And so when I go into the race, it's all about how to steer it into a race that is best for me. I want it to be a hard race. I want it to be hard in the climbs and easier in the descents, and to find a way to make that happen.
Any like out of ordinary fears going into Leadville this year, or no? It's just all that mental.
My only fear is getting dropped on Keegan's and never seeing the group again, which I don't think is actually going to happen. I'm fit, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, everyone needs to remember you can watch these videos and it's kind of humorous, but like bike racing's hard. It sucks sometimes. Leadville, if you're fit, is more suffering than any other race in my opinion because of how high we are. It is you riding on the limit of how much oxygen. It's like torture for 6 hours. And so I think all I'm scared of is just not being able to put that foot forward. And that's a fear that I bet more than half people towing the line have, whether you're going for a 6-hour time cut or a 12-hour time cut. What actually ruins a lot of people's days, I think, is just riding slightly above where they should ride all day. But the reality is this is a bike race. It's not a personal time trial. It's why I don't believe in drop bars for myself. And so when you have this group around you, there is an element of the fastest time for that person might be going into the red zone. But there's going to be a point in that race where they have to pay that back. And that's where I think it's all about how far you went in, are you still eating and drinking, how's your body computing and calibrating, recalibrating at these different elevations, and allowing yourself to keep moving forward. You can lose huge chunks of time in very small chunks of the race. And that is, I think, the crowning moment of Leadville is you look at the dominance of Keegan, it's not done in one spot. It's done over this big drawn out area where he just takes these chunks over and over and over that he knows he's outriding everybody. It's impossible to catch someone that's going faster than you. Leadville with Swimmer Ground Up is a little chaotic. It's fun. It kind of makes the weekend go by quickly, but it's really busy. Race day morning is kind of the first time I think I really settle in and think about myself. I woke up and for some reason was not craving rice at all, so made a stack of pancakes. Avery came down a little bit after that. I think also you saw this, it's pretty crazy. The AQI was bad yesterday morning, 150 at 5 a.m. So it got better, but I think we all smoked a pack of cigarettes yesterday. And kind of just spent the morning thinking about the race. Put a lot of effort into Leadville this year. So it's just kind of preparing for the inevitable suffering.
Welcome to Leadville, Colorado. We are high in the mountains and we are ready for stop number 3 of the 2025 Lifetime Grand Prix. This is the Lifetime Leadville Trail 100 mountain bike presented by Kinetic.
The start was honestly pretty easy for me. I think the gearing changes that we've made, bikes are faster, more aerodynamic. It was really just positioning. From there to about 6 miles in, started Keegan's. It was pretty just kind of washing machine moving around, and the race started. Fastest ever up Keegan's, and pretty much the first half of the race. Keegan went hard with Lachlan, John Gaston, Simon Payode, who lives at 3,000 meters, and it was just one line up Keegan's. There's no more chill. Zero chill in this race now. There's zero chill in almost any type of racing currently in the pro fields. It's probably good. Winning a gravel race means so much now that guys are willing to sacrifice quite a lot for it. So over the top of Keegan's, it was Keegan off the front with 2 other riders, with John Gasson and Simon Payode. The race would never see them again. They would ride away, that's the podium. And I think in that moment I knew that already, but you're also still racing your bike. You're an hour into a 6-hour day, so you're focused on what's ahead of you. So to send up power line, it started to go through Outward Bound, our first aid station.
Let's go, buddy!
From there, the race kind of meandered. We had little groups. It was pretty split up, but I thought we were gonna have massive time gaps. I think that's what's always exciting about the out and back, is you get to see where everyone is. So we started climbing Columbine. The group whittled down pretty quickly, and there's some guys riding pretty hard in my group. And on the way out, I really had never felt great. Just felt flat, couldn't really push very hard. Was kind of just, hoping I'd come around to a long race. And at the top of Columbine, I was in 21st place. And something clicked. I don't know if it was the excitement to look for from the ground up riders. I'd obviously just been eating all day, but I turned around on top of Columbine and I was like, let's have fun on this descent. And the way home from Columbine all the way back to Leadville was a blast. I had amazing legs. I came around. I spent the next hour and a half, hour 15 minutes looking for our riders. I was alone the entirety of the ride home.
You did your own Keegan.
And this is, sadly, when I did the cool down with Keegan, I was like, how I gave you all that shit how I wasn't going to be alone all day, and that's why I didn't need drop bars? I was alone all day. Feet zones off without a hitch.
Alexey!
I think at altitude it's really easy to overeat. I kind of planned for 115 to 120 grams of carbs, but ended up more on the 100 mark. But it worked out pretty well. I got to use that with 2 bottles in every feed zone, and then had ice on the way back too. It's really special to have such a support crew in all the feed zones. I saw Sophie out there, had Kyle feeding me, the entire MB team with Chris and Matt and Derek were there. Powerline was good. It's funny, I had Keegan's statement to us in my head. It's just one more climb. That's it, just powerline. I just kind of focused on the task at hand. I could see Russell and Kobe up about maybe 2.5 minutes ahead of me. And I was like, okay, I want to catch them by the top. And so the powerline steep portion, I just rode consistently, made sure I didn't make any mistakes.
4. I'll give you 4. I'll take it. Let's go, dude. God, I love this race.
It's the first time I'd ever ridden a 40-tooth chainring on 4 hours deep into a race, and it is doable, but tough. And then the second half, I just kind of rode as well as I could. Caught Russell at the top, descended down Sugarloaf. He dropped me a little bit, and then caught him and Kobe on Carter Summit and kind of just pushed to the finish. Small parts of me were believing that I could catch the group ahead and sprint for top 10, but I ended up missing them by probably 1.5 minutes in the end. Saw them at the top boulevard when I was finishing. I looked at Chris on the final feed zone, and he's like trying to judge how I'm feeling, and I look at him and I go, hey, how many guys do you think I can catch? And he was just the biggest hype man. He was so excited.
Catch some fuckers.
Let's get it! We got this! Let's go! Yeah!
I started in 21st place. I finished 14th. Rode through a lot of guys who had overestimated what they could do at altitude. And so it was... I'm glad I had some legs on the way out. Unfortunately, it's just not how you race. Races are not won by the back half. I will say though, in the Grand Prix, I think a lot of people underestimate what it is to ride and suffer to the finish. Not to ever call anybody out, but the Grand Prix is about consistency. It's about pushing through. I actually moved up a place in the Grand Prix, finishing in 11th in the Grand Prix standing to 14th on the day. Just competition's hot, and I hope Leadville's a drop race, but you never know. For those who want to say that it, wasn't the fastest Leadville ever, it 100% was. It's the worst conditions I've ever seen the course. Going forward, it's probably the end of the chase of the overall win in the Grand Prix. But I also am in kind of a surprising position for the lack of results that I want to begin the year. I'm in 6th place overall right now. A lot of guys ahead and behind me have already completely used their drop race, meaning they have not finished a race, so they have 0 points on the board. So if I can have a good final 3 races, there's a chance to still be up there, maybe on the podium, definitely a top 5. It's not what we came in here for, but that's bike racing. It's hard to process, but it's just moving forward and focusing on what I can do, and I'm already excited about Columbine, one of my favorite races of the year. This weekend was super busy because Avery was primarily filming from the ground up, and then in his spare seconds trying to fit me in. We did a quick interview and filming on Thursday before all the riders got in. But other than that, we're relying on friends' footage and just me talking to the camera. This will be a very tight, full throttle, but don't worry, we'll be back in full force as Schwan. For those who don't know, From the Ground Up is a project Avery has started in 2021 that takes everyday people to Leadville. And kind of the goal is to take on this impossible task over an impossible amount of time. So they get 5 months to take on the Leadville 100 course. And the goal is not the finish line. It's about the journey on the way there, learning to reprioritize, and find yourself again after settling into routine in life. Yeah, I think Leadville has one of the most special finish lines because of the cutoffs, because of how hard this course can be and how much it'll put in to finish it. You have so many people who finish the line, you have so many people who finish the race, and the first thing they say is like, I've done marathons, I've done ultras, I've done Ironmans, nothing compares to Leadville. And it's true. I think this course is one of the hardest physical events out on the calendar, and it's really easy to pretend like it's just normal bike racing. It's not. Yes, thank you to everybody. We got to our price goal of $11,000 in shirt sales to support the Under 23 Grand Prix. The winner will be contacted and also announced on Alexey and Avery
my personal channel, as well as MB. So keep your eyes out. Thank you very much for supporting. And yeah, a lot of people asked, how do you want to keep making merch? Mainly about Willie, but you might see Avery's face sometimes too.